Hey everybody, we're in greenhouse 3 and we've got lots of color to show you. So let me switch this around. Okay, where should we start?
Well, I think we're going to start with the shade stuff. Coleuses are a big seller of ours, and these can take sun to part shade to full shade. This one is sun or shade, which is really unusual. Now, the flower of the Coleus is nothing to write home to mom about. We tend to just keep clipping it off because I like the lush foliage and all the intense veining you can see. And they all have their own properties. These are a few of many that we've got.
So this copper color is brand new this year. And when I posted the picture of the Caramel Sundae Plant on Demand combo, that was a big hit. And then this one, look at the pink.
This looks great if you put a hot pink geranium or something like that with it. You could do begonias. Oh my gosh, we have a rose-colored begonia that just bedazzles that. And if you look real closely, there's just a light green variation, and that's where I like to throw in a little creeping jenny or a little sweet potato vine in the lime. The margarita looks just great with that. Okay. Now this one being so green, you know, I tend to go more to the reds with it, and you know, but you can do the orange. Yeah, I do plant some orange occasionally, so they're cool.
Great. Then let's move over here to the Calibrachoas. This is the first one blooming.
And we have, I'm planting those right now, hundreds and hundreds of those, but they're just first starting. You know, people think that when they come in to shop that these plants just arrive in these cute little pots and everything, and truth be said, they're all little plugs about the size of a quarter, maybe an inch or two high, and they all have to be transplanted into pots, hanging baskets, whatever we're going to do. So it's very labor intense. We're on a real short deadline of time, because if you don't get at them right away, they'll slime on you. So we are this week are starting week 3 of production, and by the end of the week we should have everything planted already. Now these are all of our other petunias. You know, Petunia isn't what it used to be. This new series that came out, I'll never forget the first time we saw it. I thought it was just funky. Now Stacy hated it because she said, "Mom, it looks like somebody took a paintbrush and just splattered it on it." And I said, "That's why I like it. It's just different." And they have expanded to 5 colors now.
5 plus the Glacier Sky, which isn't blooming yet.
Yeah. So it's just amazing. So, and it's basically your pink and purple tones, dark or magenta, you know, that whole family. Now you put this with a wave petunia and they're just awesome. You can put it with white. You can put it with all kinds of stuff. Now, is this the latest one? I think that is the Burgundy. I can't remember.
The darkest?
Yeah, I think that's and that looks just awesome.
And that one usually starts getting a little bit of a star in the side as it gets a little bit older.
More mature.
And then this one's new this year. That's the Crystal Sky. And then this one here's Night Sky, but this one is the Electric Purple. That's new this year as well.
Now if you can see, you could put these two together and that would be really cool, and add that with just the dark velvet Petunia, and you've got, if you're a purple fan, which many of our customers are, it's just a cool combination. Real easy to do.
Potunia Starfish is always popular.
Oh, and what's funny about this one, the first year we got it, Corey sent us some pictures of his flowers in Ireland. He had the same flower in Ireland. I'm like, my, great minds think alike.
And then these are the SuperCal. Those are Petchoas actually, which is a cross between a Calibrachoa and a Petunia. So they're a medium-sized flower. And this is a new color this year, the Sunray pink. We've had the yellow, and over at the other end we had the cinnamon, I think it was.
Is this the scent right here?
Yeah, that's cinnamon over here. Those look great in combination together as well. And you can see there's a little bit of variation between the yellows. That's partly, sometimes the first flower is a different color than what the rest of them will be. They sometimes look different the first week.
Then when you move up to the larger Petunia, oh excuse me, this is the one. These are the giants. No, that's the Surfinias.
Watch the mic.
Oops. Sure, ruin the mic. The Surfinias, it's a bigger flower and they just cascade down like crazy.
And why do we keep those in bigger pots?
Because they grow like crazy. Our key to when we transplant something is once the root reaches the bottom of the pot, and these have just been transplanted, so of course you don't see any roots on the bottom, that's when we know we can bump them up to hanging baskets and whatever. And there are some things we can do right away, but it just takes longer. In the growing process, plants grow root before they grow flower. So we want them to have a good root established before we put them into our hanging baskets and your sit pots or combination planters.
Now these three that I'm looking at, those are Crazytunias.
Yep.
They were the first ones to open, and they're always popular. This is about as dark as a Petunia can get, and it really does look black once it gets out in the sun and it's out in your other pots.
We do a lot of these with the orange black-eyed Susan. Our friends over in Rogers City, their school colors are orange and black, and I can't tell you how many graduation parties they wanted some pots done up, and orange and black is what we want, so we always got that covered.
And this is the only wave that's blooming yet, but the others are going to be coming soon. That's the white, and it is pure white.
Now you can see how all this is branching down here. And what we do in another 2 weeks, I know it sounds horrible, we call ourselves the Mussolinis of flowers. We come in and we cut all the way around so there's nothing hanging around the pot. And the reason for that is you get 2 times as many branching of flowers, and we want big, lush, full. You know, plants are a lot like kids. Sometimes you have to correct them and then they become marvelous, and that's what happens. You just give them a little correction and they do really good.
Now we did add this little bit of Lobelia.
Lobelia is always, it's one of those plants, people either do really, really good with it or they don't do well with it. And the biggest reason is they don't water it enough. It is very easy. It really can take the heat, even though they say people think it's just for shade. The new varieties now are bred to withstand the heat. They're called techno heat. This particular one isn't a techno heat, but we have many that are. And we have a variety of colors. The blue is always the most popular. Blue, purple, violet, and white we carry. Now this little guy, this Diamond Frost, as you know, I also do a lot of flower design. And one of the top picks of a filler is baby's breath. And I always think of this looking like a little baby's breath. I love to put this in with either your New Guinea impatiens, with geraniums. It can go with your petunias and stuff, but it's a more of a mounding. It does not cascade, but it's a great center, and things trailing from it always look good. A lot of our red, white, and blue combos have that in it.
And our final one.
This is probably one of the biggest selling flowers we have because it can take full hot sun, it can take shade, it does not require deadheading. The only thing it likes is, of course, water and fertilizer. And which series is this one? Is that the
Surefire?
The Surefire has more flowers than the other. There's another one called Dragon Wing that is it grows. They're great in big planters. There's another series called the Whopper. Oh my gosh, those suckers get 2.5 to 3 feet tall. You put 2 in a pot and that's all you need. I know someone had requested that with a spike or something in it. Cripe, by July you couldn't even see the spike. It just overtook it. So we are so excited to see color, but the sad part is within the next probably 2 weeks we take all the flowers off. Again, we want it to be a nice full lush plant. One of the biggest complaints we'll get, people will call and say, my petunia basket was just gorgeous, now I have a 3-foot stem with 2 flowers on the end. And I'm like, give it a haircut. You know how good you feel after a haircut? You just need to perk it up a little. Haircut, a squirt of fertilizer, and in 2 to 3 weeks they're like, oh my gosh, it's like I have a new plant. And sometimes, you know, you get busy and you skip a week or something. The easiest way to keep up on your fertilizing is choose one day a week that you know you can always do it on. Many people it's Saturday or Sunday because they work during the week. And always say, okay, Sunday, got to fertilize today. Then you don't forget, and you know, you've got to feed to flower. That's the key. Always, always feed to flower.
Okay, well there's a peek at what's growing in the greenhouse right now.
Lots more to come.